Hi, Mike here with WaiverFile. In this video I'm going to show you how you can get started with text messaging. In your dashboard, there's a text messaging button on the left. When you click it, you can start the demo, which will show you how text messaging works and how you can take advantage of it in WaiverFile. There's two numbers you have to enter. One is your business phone number, and the other one is your personal cell phone number. During the demo, rather than sending real text messages, it'll send sample text messages just to your number so you can see how it works. Once we set up the real service, you'll be able to text message customers directly. Now we're going to come to a screen where we can set up automatic text messages. You can trigger text messages to happen automatically after several different things. The first option is after signing a waiver. So either right away or after some delay, you can automatically send a text message. Before or after an event, you can make it happen before an event as a reminder, or after an event. You can set up messages to go out automatically. Birthdays is a very powerful option. Based on the birthday that you collect for signees and participants, you can schedule messages to go out in advance of that. This is very useful if you book birthday parties for your business. And last is check-ins. You can trigger it so after you check someone in, it sends a message either right away or again with a delay. So let's just start simply and do one after signing a waiver. And we're going to say how far after signing. I'll just leave it at 0, which means it's going to send it basically right away. And let's make a simple confirmation message. You can put a lot of useful information in here, whether it be promotional or instructions on how to participate. It all depends on what kind of business you run and what kind of information you would want someone to get after they sign the waiver. You can customize the message by clicking here and adding custom fields, so you can put the signee's name in there. So you might make it more personal, saying hello and then add the first name, like that. You can see in the preview screen over here, it gives you a sample of what it'll actually look like. It's also a good idea to put the unsubscribe line in here, so that way if someone doesn't want to receive these messages, they can opt out. Basically, anyone can reply the word stop to opt out, and it's a standard text messaging practice. So once we're set with the message that we want, we can click on Activate. And we have an automatic message right here. The other thing we want to do is turn on the mobile form field on our waiver forms. So click on Waiver Forms. So under your waiver form or waiver forms, you click on Edit Waiver Form. Scroll down, and you can check the box here for your mobile phone number. Now by default, it's turned on for all forms, which is why this is grayed out. So at this point, it is on the form. But if you want to adjust that, let me show you where to go. You can go to text messaging, and now that the demo is turned on, there's more options here. We'll go down to settings, and you can choose the mobile number input to go either on all forms, which it did by default, or you can choose forms manually. So let's leave it as manually so we have the choice. The other option we have here is if it's included or required. And then down here you have the option for an opt-in checkbox. So we can turn this on to enable the opt-in checkbox, which is basically just a checkbox to say, yes, I want to receive text messages. And then you can choose to pre-check it or not pre-check it. The other option here is to require an opt-in checkbox, which means you have to check the box in order to complete the form. We don't turn this on generally, but if you have special terms in your form where, like by just the nature of signing that form, they're opting in, then you can use that. But that's up to you. And we'll save our changes. So now let's go back and take a look at what the form looks like. If we click on Signature Area, it brings us out to our public signing page. Let's click into the form. And you'll see here we have the waiver form. So I'm just going to fill out a sample one. Now during the demo, this won't actually send the end user a text message. It'll send it to the number that you signed up with in the beginning, since it's just a demo. But you can still collect mobile numbers on your forms even if you haven't turned on the real service yet. That data still gets stored and you can use it later. Alright, then we'll sign our form. Click I agree. And you're all set. And shortly after completing it, on the test number that you set up, you'll get a text that the customer would have received just to see how it works. Let's go back to our admin area to try a few more things that we can set up. Under text messaging, let's go to subscribers. And here's a view where you can see everyone who has entered their phone number as part of the form. It starts building a mailing list with all the numbers that you've collected. I can click on this list to see all the subscribers that I've collected here. The other thing I can do is create segments. I've gone ahead and made another waiver form called media release. Let's say for this example, I want to send text messages just to the people who filled out the media release. I'm going to go to text messaging, go to subscribers, select segments, and let's make a new segment. I'm going to call it media release signed. And now what I'm going to do is add a filter. So let's create a filter. And under standard fields, we're going to find waiver form name right here. And we'll say where that equals media release. We'll save that. Now once we create that, what's going to happen is it'll take a little time to calculate, especially if you start to have a big list. It'll build this list in the background. But what'll happen is it'll only now have a list of people who signed the media release. Now let's go check out campaigns. A campaign is when we want to send a blast of text messages out to a certain group. So let's say in our example, we want to have a reminder about the media release. We'll give it our campaign a name. We'll go to lists. And so since we don't want all subscribers, we're actually going to go to our media release. So we'll just create a test reminder. Again, we can use the custom fields here to put the first name in there. So we might say hello and put their first name like that. And you can put other information here. You can see it fills it out in a text message. So that's just going to that group. So we'll click next. This is ready to go, and then we can choose when to send it out, either on a certain date. We could save it as a draft and send it later, or we could say send it right now. Now, to keep in mind, when you're using the demo, it's not going to send it out to the entire list. It's just going to send you one sample so you can see how it works. But once you activate the real service, everything else works the same. It's just going to actually send it out to the group that you wanted. So we'll turn that on. You can see how that works. Once you start sending out these text messages, people may reply to that text message. And when they do, you're going to see that appear right here in the top right corner. So when you first set up the demo, it's actually going to give you a little sample so you can see what it looks like. But you just click on that, and it'll have the message that they typed to you right here, or you click on View Details, and it actually will bring up a full conversation, and you can text back and forth from here to your customer if they have more questions. Also, if they signed a waiver and that number is attached to the waiver, for reference, you can click the View Waiver button here, and it will take you to that waiver. Once you're ready to start using SMS for real, go ahead and click on Upgrade to Full Plan. There's a form here that needs to be filled out, which is going to verify your company as a sender. In order to send text messages to cell phones in the US and other countries, you have to verify your business information. The cell phone carriers do this in an effort to reduce spam messages, which overall is a good thing, even though we have to kind of jump through some hoops to get this set up. Overall, it will cut down on unwanted messages, which means that your customers will actually keep using text messages, and those who want to get the messages will get them, and the open rates are going to stay really high, which is the whole benefit of using text messages. So essentially you just fill out some information about your business and the type of messages that you're planning on sending, submit it, and then once it's approved, we can activate your real text messaging plan. To learn more about WaiverFile or to try it free for 30 days, visit WaiverFile.com. Thanks for watching.